Hi everyone, this is Dr. SHIVA. We're in this great town of Springfield. And these are all of our volunteers. We had a great showing today. It's almost 100 degrees here. And yet our movement for truth, freedom, and health is exploding all over Massachusetts, that even in a hot weather, people come up. This is not true of those other slob lawyers who are running. They don't even do any campaigning. It's all top down, but this is a bottoms up campaign. But I'm here because one of our very good volunteers who showed up told me something very, very powerful that everyone needs to listen to, and I'll comment on it, about how the elites in this country are selling this country out directly to the Chinese Communist Party. As many of you know, the people in this country, we're talking about the elites, they don't give a damn about you and I. They've outsourced all of manufacturing to China, and now they're literally allowing colonialism to take place. Look, I grew up in India, which was at one point colonialism, and America is being colonized. This is no exaggeration. Why don't you tell about who this company is? Just assume people don't know anything about who it is.
This is CRRC. They're a Chinese railcar company.
CRRC.
Yep. They outbid a bunch of other companies like Bombardier to basically build rail cars for the MBTA for Chicago, and they're based right here in Springfield. One of the things that blew me away was they actually donated a ton of masks to the Springfield police and the hospitals and everything, and our mayor thanked them. But I mean, realistically, they're flying the Chinese Communist Party flag right here, right in my hometown. You know, we have the Holyoke Soldiers Home, which is right down 91, where it's just people, veterans who fought, possibly against these exact people in Korea, were ravaged by the disease. And I'm just blown away by the fact that this flag flies in a city where my grandfather, my uncles, and everybody fought for freedom, fought against this ideology. Everything that they're doing with the Uyghurs, the hair that's being transported in, the crackdown on Hong Kong. It's just it's disgusting, and to me, it's the same thing as having a Nazi flag fly. But here you have it.
Yeah, and it's juxtaposed. Richard, if you can go up, if you can just show people that flag, right? Let me just, if you can zoom in on that flag, right? There you go, right? So what you're seeing right there is the Chinese Communist Party flag flying on a corporation. This essentially symbolizes what's going on to America. You see, what was going on in America, and this is various phases of colonization. So first phase of Chinese colonization was the American elite outsourced all of manufacturing to China, which means we destroyed working class jobs here. Second phase of colonization was to destroy the economy here through people like Obama, quantitative easing, etc. Right? So you start printing money and you basically make all these assets. When you destroy economy, what happens? The value of assets drops. So when the value of assets drops, it's an amazing opportunity to come in and sweep up those assets for nothing, right? So you basically go and it's like blowing up something, and then you buy up something at a song. So that's what's happening here, because Bombardier, like you said, could not compete with the Chinese Communist Party because they're basically being, first of all, they use slave labor in China, okay? China is basically a slave labor. It's legalized slave labor. So no U.S. company can compete with them. But the more important strategic issue that you're bringing up is that, and I think you brought this up, that the equipment that was used on building Massachusetts rail cars apparently was assembled. So everything was supposed to be assembled here, but the electrical components were made in China. And all of those cars, this was several years ago, right? Those cars, past year and a half ago, Charlie Baker, those cars that he brought in, all failed. All right. So what you're looking at is the third phase of colonization is you actually start, basically owning U.S. assets, and basically people here must start becoming like Chinese slave labor, right? That's where this is headed, right? So people wear masks, looks a lot like China, right? People then don't have a job, so they'll work for nothing. They'll maintain control. That's what you're looking at right here. And the reason that Joe Kennedy, the reason that Charlie Baker and none of these politicians come out here is because this is an embarrassment, and they don't want anyone to see that. And this is the same thing that they do at MIT and Harvard. We saw what happened at Harvard, right? A Harvard professor What was he doing, Beno? He was basically doing gain of function work, right?
Gain of function mutation work.
Right. So gain of function means research, which Fauci endorsed, which allows you to do gain of function means taking a virus and doing biological engineering so you could improve its function. Fauci funded that. We know that that Harvard professor was part of that. The entire Harvard elite sold essentially assets of the U.S. economy to China. And that's what they do. They sell it willingly. So anyone out there, next time you see these people in power waving the American flag, don't believe their bullshit patriotism. It's not really patriotism. They're basically doing it when it's convenient for them because they have their assets everywhere. They don't want to support this country. What they want to do is they want to have that happening everywhere. Everywhere in this country, they want to support Chinese colonization. Let me remind everyone, John Boehner, a Republican, is a lobbyist for China, okay? And when you look at the working people in Springfield here, they're the forgotten people that no one cares about. And our campaign, Shiva for Senate, is out here. We'll be back here out here for more protests. But our campaign is built on working people, not the elites, not the Charlie Bakers, not the people who use people left or right. So anyway, thanks a lot for sharing. Does anyone else want to share anything here? Someone else said there. Anthony said there's a Monsanto plant over here, which has destroyed the waterways here. Okay? So that's what they do. That's why they don't want to come here, because it's so glaring, the destruction that they're part of. So anyway, this is Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai, Shiva for Senate, right? Truth, freedom, and health. That's what it's about. And we're out in Springfield here. You won't find there are other campaigns with people like this here. Angela's here. Angela and her husband are out there campaigning. We're out here in the heat, 100-degree weather. That's how we win, and we're going to win for you. It's time one of us got in, not these people. Thank you. Woo! No, you don't have to do anything. Thanks, Jen.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. Yep.
Jen, are we done? Thank you.
Thank you. Tony Becker says hello.
Hey, Tony, how are you? We're still live, Jen. Well, we're still live here. If anyone's alive, you can still see that. That's what's going on. This is what's going on to America, right? We're selling our country out.